So today, we're gonna talk about some shredders from hell. Some guitars that are meant to go faster than the speed of light. I'm gonna give you the keys to the Lamborghini, just like Michelangelo Badio. Except, I'm not gonna be anywhere near that good. In fact, I don't consider myself a shredder. A lot of people question my guitar playing. And if you do, go to LostSymphony.com and see that I play with Marty Friedman and Nino Betancourt and Jeff Loomis and Satchel and a bunch of really good guys that are shredders. So today, I'm gonna go through some of my shreddiest guitars because I, for the most part, err on the side of classy, maybe ostentatious, but I'm not really a shredder guy. So I don't wanna neglect those that can go faster than Jeff Loomis or Gus G or Kiko. I just love saying Kiko. Hey, and if you're enjoying any of these videos, please hit the subscribe and do me a favor, because all these people, they either write one of two things. You suck! Or this is the greatest channel ever. If it's so fucking great, share it. And if it's in your church group, be like, if it's so darn great, please share it. Now back to our normal shredding. Les Paul loved guitars that were like tuxedos, which is why he had white Les Pauls with like the black. I feel like this guy took some peyote, or maybe did the DMT thing, you know, to find his inner mantra and say it over and over and over, like, I will shred, I will shred, I will shred. And then this guitar was born because Jackson, they make some of the greatest shred guitars ever. And the custom shop is known for some of these wild tops, these graphic tops, as they call them. In my opinion, this might be the most freaking ridiculous one I've ever seen. And I know there's a lot of weird ones, but this is like, as I said in my last video on this, Sigmund Freud's acid trip. I mean, you got the rising sun thing from like Michael Crichton. I just noticed there's like, it looks like a little monkey. You got there's a crab there. Maybe that's foreshadowing to not hook up with the guy from the Skid Row cover band. Looks like it's a compass, but I don't know what way we're going. I can tell you what we are doing, and that's shredding on this guitar, because not only does it have the shark fin inlays, it has the reverse shark fin inlays. And then right about 7th fret, it starts to become lightly scalloped. So if you want to do the Yngwie Malmsteen thing, and you don't even want to touch the ebony, this is an ebony dinky. You just come up here and you just do the sweep picking arpeggios. Can't you hear the sweep picking? If one humbucker with the white thing and a turtle and a star on it isn't enough, there's a 20 decibel boost. Now that looks like it's on. It's always on. It's got a Floyd Rose and it's floating. So I have to surmise that this is meant for like serious dive bombs. Like, you know, one day I was looking on the interwebs and I saw a warrior. It says it right up here in abalone. Warrior. And I know that these guitars, they're ridiculous guitars. If you go and look at most of these guitars, they're like, there's like the Archangel inlaid. It's like most of the guitars are like $10,000 to $30,000. They're all ridiculous. They have the craziest woods. Like, I believe that this is 200-year-old mahogany actually on this guitar. So this guy makes crazy guitars, and I've never been able to afford one. And one dude was like, I'm dumping this for $1,200. I'll bite. And a shredder it did make me. Because first off, see that? There's a sword on the 12th fret, and it lights up. If you're on stage and you want people to know that you too are a warrior, and these pickups, they have black covers, they're black chrome covers, and you got like almost the Music Man thing down here where you can adjust the neck like on the fly. Because basically, if you're a crazy shredder, you need your action so low that Han couldn't fly the fucking Millennium Falcon fast enough to be able to shred like you. And the other thing I like about this is you have the old school, it's almost like Ibanez, like the George Benson kind of inlays with the mother of pearl blocks with this nice abalone. I just like mollusk. And this is like, again, some super old, AAA ebony or whatever, some fancy schmancy stuff. And this guy loves to use Purple Heart. I don't know if it's good, but it is kind of purpley, and it's got the volute, like all these old Gibsons. The thing I like about this guitar is if you look at the lines of it, it's meant for freaking battle. It's meant for battle. And it's a shred guitar with a fixed bridge. And I gotta tell you, I like fixed bridges because, well, they're not broken. I gotta tell you, I know nothing about Charvel guitars. When I bought this, it was $400. And somebody had put something that says made in USA, and all it said was USA made Charvel. I'll bite USA Charvel, $400 with case. Much to my dismay, not made in the USA. And when one of my buddies told me that, I actually scratched off the headstock, the made in USA, like, just to find out it was actually made in Japan, and that the Model 4 from Charvel is a freaking rad guitar, and it's worth easily 3 to 4 times what I paid for it, maybe even 5 times. I've seen these for $2,000 in mint condition, and although this is not mint, look at that, dude. It's like, you know, he got into Kiss for like 3 shows, and then Gene got mad at him, and he just put his guitar back in the case, and was like, I'm never gonna play again. And then became a woman. First off, the toggle switches that go on and off. So if you want to turn off that pickup, you turn that off. If you want to turn off that pickup, you turn it that. So you don't really have any, it's pretty simple. And I don't know why you'd have, is it 2 volumes, 2 tones? I've never even turned these. But I will tell you that the neck on this, it's kind of a wide carve, but then really thin. This neck is almost like if you're used to playing Les Pauls and you want to play. I was blown away by the quality of this guitar. Not only how awesome it sounds with these jacks and pickups, they're good apparently, but the fact that it's just, it plays beautifully. Like this neck profile, like I can understand why someone would want a Charvel. I can't not talk about this. Can't not. Like, is that even proper English? My mom's so mad at me. This guitar is like $250. You could see the sparkle from space, and it's got this insane binding of just like pearloid disgustingness and these double white pickups, which I don't even know if they sound good, but they look good. If you're starting out and you just want to rock and you need to make a statement that you matter and that you want to be seen from space, get this Ibanez. It's an Ibanez Green Death. Get one at your local store. I recommend Sam Ash, in fact, because Sam Ash is awesome. See this? Jason Becker's guitar. It's the PV prototype numbers. And anyone that has the audacity, the ostentatiousness, the bombast, the magnanimous spirit to rock this ridiculous guitar, you know that dude shreds, or that girl shreds. Yeah, woman, they, them, his, hers, everything in between. They shred. If you have this guitar, you're either grandma trying to dial 911 or you're Jason Becker level. And so you know, ALS awareness for Jason. If you don't know his story, go back and look at some of my videos about it and send some love to Jason. Arguably, 34 years ago, one of the greatest shred records of all time, in my opinion, is Perpetual Burn by Jason Becker. If you didn't notice, it hasn't been changed. It's slung all down low. That's because Jason Becker's 6'4" and I'm 5'9". So this strap has not been taken out of the case, to my knowledge, in years. Because this is actually Jason Becker's Hurricane guitar that, as you can see from his thumbprint right here, it says Perpetual Burn cover guitar, Jason Becker. That's because the people behind the Neurotic guitars, my business partners. I know, it's weird, isn't it? Strange to think that this crazy dude has business partners. My business partners and I put together, helped arrange to basically pay a lot of money for these guitars to help Jason Becker. And my commitment in this whole hullabaloo was that I would continue to put these guitars in people's hands to be making music, to be inspiring, and to continue singing Jason's praises. Because if you think about it, he has ALS. He's in a chair full time. He can't just go frolic around or even play guitar anymore. So what can we do for him? I think send him some love. I think send him some good music and continue letting people know that even 34 years later, Perpetual Burn still burns pretty much any guitar player out there. I rest my case. Jason Becker, Cacophony, Marty Friedman. Seriously, how much shreddier do you want than that? I am going to actually put Jason's strap on the actual guitar. It says Perpetual Burn Guitar and the SMS cover. So this is Jason's cover guitar and also the guitar he used for most of Perpetual Burn. Another Hurricane, a Moridura limited edition. This one's limited too. This is Jason Becker's actual guitar. The other one's 24 fret, this one's 12 fret. Rosewood fretboard, and that one has a maple fretboard. I personally like this one better. I have become more akin with this one when I've been playing. I actually did a C minor sweep arpeggio at 73 BPM, and it was fantastic. Sometime in the 90s, maybe it was early 2000s, Ibanez came out with the H.R. Giger model. And if you don't know who H.R. Giger is, you probably know some of his movies, like Aliens. He does all the creepy stuff for Jonathan Davis's microphone. That's H.R. Giger. He did the cover of Emerson, Lake and Palmer's record and a bunch of other classic records. This is an RG series guitar with this beautiful, I think, anodized Giger art. And it's one of the few Ibanez's I have. It plays great. Has, again, this pearloid binding thing, which I think must be an Ibanez thing. It's just a great playing guitar. Super cool. Love H.R. Giger. And there's actually a version of this, which I would love to have. I think they're like 5 or 10 grand, something ridiculous. And it's like all metal. And it's all etched, like seriously, all the Giger stuff, and it's chromed out. It's the coolest thing Ibanez ever did. It's the Ace of Spades! Ace of Spades! I don't know if that's a spade. Is that a fleur? It's a fleur de lis. With it's the Harlequin. Is it Harlequin pattern? It's a Harlequin pattern. I gotta love the guys at Jackson. I have to think that they were sitting around doing like their finger painting and stuff, because like you could see the sponge print from the paint on this. They basically were like, hey man, get really fucked up and we're gonna paint some guitars today. And that's what I love about these. They make Strats that are better than a lot of Fender Strats. It looks like it's a baked maple fretboard. And by fretboard, I mean neck. The fretboard's actually rosewood with these nice shark inlays. And of course, you have the Kill Die Floyd Rose system, which is nice. And this guitar sounds great because it has EMG pickups in it. And I'm a firm believer that if you're a shredder and you use EMGs, you're gonna win. Like, you're like, why does this one sound better? Because it's louder. But why can you play metal better on it? Because it's louder. Why can't I hear my bass? Because it's louder. Why can I not hear the snare? Because it's louder. Zach Wilde said so. Remember that Charvel Model 4? This is the Gibson WSC. That stands for Wayne fucking Charvel. This is the prototype. I think it's the Showman series or whatever, but it doesn't have the thing back here, but it has a prototype headstock. There's a few different headstocks. The version that they made, it went to production, they made maybe 600 of them, has a bigger headstock. This is the smaller headstock. And it has the master kill die switch, which basically tells you that this is the rarer WSC. Still not very desirable because it's essentially a bolt-on, shittier version of the Model 4 from Charvel, which was just much better. I gotta tell you, I like Kahlers better than Floyd's. Hate me, it just feels better. And it's got these black pickups But this is a weird 80s guitar that tries to be a Charvel. Even has the Charvel name on it, Wayne Charvel. And Gibson doesn't talk about it because it's like, let's not talk about it. Last, but certainly not least, I got these 3 Jacksons all in one deal. And I couldn't be happier because as a guy that didn't really have a lot of Jacksons, now I have the Jacksons that I need, because if Pow and Zap, like a Batman, like episode from 1966 with Adam West, Pow! Zap! If this isn't the coolest, like, Lichtenstein style artwork, I mean, like, this is a statement. Like, if this is not 80s, like these colors, like, I mean, I feel like I should be going to Pizza Hut with my Back to the Future glasses. So it has a Floyd Rose, but what this has is also a JBJ. Now, for those Seymour Duncan freaks out there, JBJ, it's a Seymour Duncan JB, but it's a hand wound by Miss Juarez, who is the master winder at Seymour Duncan. She's done stuff for Eddie Van Halen, all this. So if you see a J at the end of your 80s pickups or even current ones, it means that Miss Juarez, who still works at Seymour Duncan, wound your pickup personally. Which is why this thing sounds wild. It has basically a tone, I've never used, a volume, and then it's got like almost like it stops at 5. I have to think it's like a mid sweep or something. But basically this pickup just goes from hot to like righteously hot. So if you're a shredder and you want to go like clean, there's no such thing as clean on this guitar. And that's why it's the shredder guitar of all of my shredder guitars, because if this doesn't say Winger and Mr. Big and Racer X, which is kind of like partly like Mr. Big, if this doesn't say Yngwie Malmsteen, eat your fucking heart out, then I'm just going to go back to the same bat channel, the same bat time, and watch Batman. And while you're at it, can you please subscribe?
Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?